Can you tell me about the movie that you've just directed and the cinematography you chose? Did you use film? Did you use digital, and why?
Yeah, I ended up shooting a film called Man of Tai Chi, which I directed and acted in, and we used the Arri studio camera with some Hawk lenses. Early days from the producer side of it was looking to shoot digital as we were in mainland China and Hong Kong, and they felt in terms of cost and QC and everything that we should look into digital. So I went in to look into digital with the cinematographer Elliot Davis, and with this camera, the Arri camera, and with the Hawk lenses, we came to a look that we thought would be really great for the film.
And who's persuading? Because I'm thinking about the way that technology is advancing and the role of the cinematographer. Do you feel that roles are going to be more defined, less defined? And do you think that the role of the cinematographer is going to evolve with new digital technology?
Yeah, I think the role of the cinematographer has already evolved in terms of how they have to manage their image. Chris, do you want to talk at all about this?
Yeah, with the digital technology, the cinematographer or DP, they've kind of their power has shifted a little. They used to be the only person on the set who maybe knew or almost knew exactly what image they were going to capture on the film. Now with digital, you're able to monitor very closely what you're shooting, and you can see it while you're shooting it, and everyone else on the set can see it while you're shooting it. Also, after the image goes into post-production, there's more ways to manipulate it and more people that can get involved and have a say in it. So the DP really has to hold on and make sure they're involved all the way down the whole length of the image chain.
But it might be the end of the cinematographer.
Well, that was the in terms of, but then the end product and collaboration. I suppose that thing, if you know.
I mean, that relationship is so key in this sense, isn't it? The director and cinematographer.
It seems like there'll probably, hopefully, always be someone involved in that role of the cinematographer to, care and be concerned about the image and make sure it's being captured correctly and tells the story the best way.
But it's also what image are you capturing? They kind of bring in the history, the take, the aesthetic keeper as well.
Yeah, it's one of those jobs which is very technical as well as very artistic. I think that's kind of what interested us a lot about this subject. It's where those two worlds meet. Of this day and age, these are the visual artists. The cinematographers are the Da Vinci's and Michelangelos of our modern day. As I was trying to go back through the short history of digital and find kind of what were the milestones, both films and technology, and where those merged, like a brand new camera allowed for this type of movie, or 24-frame video allowed for this type of movie. And as I was finding those kind of milestone movies, I would try to figure out who shot them and everything surrounding it. And Anthony Dodd Mantle, the cinematographer's name, kept popping up kind of at each magical moment in this historical process.
Yeah, I think that I thought that was I kind of agree with you that Anthony Dodd Mantle and the things that he did, especially with Danny Boyle when he was giving the interview, and I think he refers to this in the film, that the balance of power on the film set and the way a film set kind of operates and the way the roles work, he's able to, through digital cameras and digital technology, change that way of working that had been a way of working that had been established for almost 100 years in terms of the roles and the process of how a set operates. He was able to kind of break that down and totally change that, and he loves that, and he loves that shift that it made people be able to do things differently and shift the power on the set and get shots and angles that you never would have had a chance to do, and get, really what it means is getting images you'd never have a chance to get before. And I think that's something that's profound, and that's really what I think with Danny and Anthony Dodd Mantle were doing with Slumdog, for example. And I think that it's thanks to digital that's been enabled.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's the rhythm on the floor. How long you can spend actually filming with a film roll, and then what you can do with digital. Digital oftentimes is a lot longer, and Yeah, it just that's really the most concrete difference. Because otherwise, then whether you're doing multiple takes or if how you're moving the camera, all of those things can sometimes share, digital or photochemical. But that is generally a major difference. It's just the rhythm of it.
When we first came here and started shooting, the Alexa camera, which is now ubiquitous, was just a kind of a model sitting out there for people to look at. What's this? Arri has a digital camera, and now everybody's using it. So we tried to make the documentary in a way that was sort of talking about the history, how we got here, and the grander issue that we're capturing people's thoughts at this moment of change. But we weren't trying to put the period at the end of the sentence or saying, and this is how it ends with the red epic or something like that. I think it's obvious in the movie that, and people make mention of this a lot, that this is constantly evolving and the technology is going to change and improve. But the reason we made the doc was we felt we were kind of at that moment where digital had been rising and it was maybe just about to overtake film.
You're saying about democracy and what digital brings, and considering the Masters being here at Cameron Marsh, how do you feel digital is going to affect quality versus quantity in terms of film and everybody having access to it?
I think Lorenzo di Bonaventura talks about this in the film, the producer, and he said there's definitely more, and he thinks there's going to be more bad and less good, and he's probably, I think he's probably right. There's going to be more bad, there's going to be more total, and if you look at the number of films that are being made, as Jeff Gilmore talked about submissions to Sundance, where they just went up just it's like a hockey stick just went. This is incredible. I think there's certainly going to be more people making more bad movies, but it's not like there weren't bad movies made when everything was done with film too. So I think you've got to be excited about it. You've got to be excited having these tools are in more hands, more people to be able to tell more stories. And I think that's a huge difference, been enabled by digital. And I think it's really exciting. But there is going to be more noise. It's already happened. Just look at how many film festivals are. Look how many films are coming out. It's amazing.
I have a real fondness and nostalgia for the film camera. There's something I feel like the film camera can really capture, can pull out, and can peer into. The digital camera to me still feels like it's watching, and I think you have to externalize a little more in a weird way.
Sure. I think the image can still improve, the digital image, and of course the digital archiving. They need to figure that out, and also the quality of digital projection, all that stuff I think is going to improve.
It needs to improve.